Was the world on course with the SDGs before the pandemic? In other words, is it just a question of getting back on track, or were we already falling away before?
Thanks so much for having me. The Gates Foundation has been investing in the tools to help the poorest come out of poverty for about 20 years now. And we have been following the data throughout that time. And it's been an incredible 20 years of progress. We've lifted millions of people out of poverty, increased access to healthcare, to enrollment in schools. Not everything was on equal track. We have been off track on maternal health. Many of the indicators around gender equality were already off track. But there's no question that the events of the past few years have really set us back. And today we see that those years of progress are really in jeopardy. But it's not lost. I think with the right investments in seeds, in food systems, in bringing women into the workplace, empowering them to engage in productive activity, those are all things that those of us gathered in New York can commit to, and that will help re-engage in the kind of progress we all know is so critical.
Well, you mentioned again agriculture and equality, but there are 17 goals. I mean, where do you think the priorities lie? Such a wide and varied list. Do some require more work than others?
Absolutely. These are not goals that we should have to choose between food and education and access to healthcare. We can, as a global community, deliver all of those, and we can do that for men and women, girl children and boy children alike. The question is how. And so I think today we need to see commitments to solving urgent crises. That's making sure smallholder farmers have access to fertilizer, to the right seeds. We need commitments to take action against climate change. And we need commitments to the kind of innovation in seeds, in healthcare that will be needed to solve those problems.
We know that agricultural policy is much more important than food aid. We've seen that particularly in the continent of Africa. Food supply now, though, worldwide is turning into a global emergency. Where do we look for solutions? The Gates Foundation has previously praised China for its advances in this sector.
I think China-Africa cooperation in the ag sector is a great example of what needs to happen now. Just in July, Foreign Minister Wang Yi made an indication of support for the CG system. This is the premier agricultural research system that will help develop seeds, new technologies for smallholder farmers throughout the African continent, throughout the world. As well, I think we're seeing Africa's commitment to breeding centers in Hainan province that are the kind of that will become a source of innovation for African agricultural productivity. So I think that combination of innovation and commitment to multilateral action is exactly the kind of thing we need to do now.